To my channel. So my channel is quite new. I've had the channel probably a year or so, but I've hardly put anything on it. I started saving little promo clips because I'm a part-time freelance designer. So when I've got any new products out, I make a little clip, and that's kind of where I store them. I usually share them on Facebook and things anyway, so everybody's seen them already. But this is a whole new venture that I'm about to embark upon. So I'm Sharon Halliday. Nice to meet you all, if those who don't know me. Just a little bit of background about myself. In 2019, I had a carpal tunnel operation on my right wrist rather, which I was meant to have a second operation on my left wrist about 4 weeks later, but in between times something happened with my heart, which my heart started to beat really rapidly, so I couldn't then have the second operation done. But it was when I was going for the pre-op and everything for that second operation is how this heart problem became apparent. So obviously they postponed that operation, and instead I spent the past 4 years trying to get my heart back to working properly. So I had 2 surgical procedures carried out, and sort of months and months of different medications, different dosages and that sort of thing, just to try and fix it. It was fixed in June 2022, and since then it's been a lot better. And I'm no longer on the heart medication that I need. I just need to monitor it. I have got a secondary problem, but because it's not causing me any trouble, the cardiologist has said to just we'll leave that just for now until it, hopefully it won't cause me any problems. But they did notice something when they were doing one of the procedures, so I've got this other underlying problem still at the moment, which is fine. Like I say, it doesn't cause me any problems. So. But in the time that it's taken me to get to this stage that I am now, I was warned by a consultant right at the outset that the longer the heart condition problem went on, the more damage it was going to be doing to my health and my internal organs, which would then cause other medical conditions. Consequently, it has caused other medical problems. My health just seemed to spiral downwards from 2019. Obviously, like I said, the heart condition is rectified. I've now had both, I had carpal tunnel, like I say, in both my wrists, and I did eventually have the second operation on my wrist, so my wrists are both fine as well. But sadly, it has left me with other medical conditions. I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia. I have got gastritis, which is an inflammation of the stomach, so I have to be careful what I eat. Also with fibromyalgia, I tend to suffer with a lot of anxiety and IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, for maybe those who don't know. So I do have quite a lot of issues with my stomach. Then I was also diagnosed in 2020, I think it was, with type 2 diabetes, because I put a lot of weight on. I was already overweight, and then I put even more weight on. So obviously that's then triggered the diabetes, which brings me round to why I'm doing this, these vlogs, because it's not something I would normally do. As you can tell, I'm not professional at this. I see people all the time on YouTube chatting away to the cameras, and I'm a bit hopeless at it, so please do bear with me. But yeah, so in 2020 I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. So when you've got diabetes, you're sent for all sorts of random, well, they're not random, blood tests and what's the thing, you have your feet checked and your eyes checked, because obviously diabetes can cause some really serious conditions. So my annual blood reviews are always done around my birthday, which is in March. And this March, when I went for my blood test done, I had been following the NHS 12-week calorie counting sort of program. It's an app which anybody can download it on your app store, whatever kind of phone you've got. And again, I'm not technical, so I have no idea to advise people about that sort of thing. But you can download an app, an NHS 12-week calorie counting app, which basically is as it says. There's it counts down 12 weeks. There's like a little daily diary that you can tap in your calories that you're having. Obviously, you have to look at the calories through your. There is a search engine on the NHS app, so you can put in sort of basic foods, and it'll give you what the calories are by portion size. But otherwise, I suppose I also downloaded one what was like a nutritional check app as well, so I could count the calories. I would know what calories are in. That was quite good. You could put in what the food was, and it would bring it up, and then from that you could add in the amount you'd eaten or the amount you're about to eat, and it would work out what the calories were in that for you. Or you could just obviously look at your packaging of whatever it is you're eating to work out your calories, and you pop them in on your daily diary, and that then stores for you. And you obviously have your breakfast, lunch, your evening meal, and then place for snacks and drinks as well. So I calculate them all. And when you first join that app, when you put your weight in, I think it asks you weight, your gender, and how active you are. And then it works out sort of a range for your calories. So you can change the scale of it. Your lower end, obviously if you set your target to the lower end, you're more likely to lose weight. If you set it towards the middle, you're more likely to maintain your weight. Or if you set it to the upper amount of calories, you're likely to gain weight. So it isn't just about a weight loss program, because obviously you might already be at the weight that you're happy with, or you might be wanting to gain some weight. Like I say, you can use the app to control whatever you want to, lose, maintain, or gain weight, and it work out for you how many calories you should consume each day based on your activity levels, your age, and whether you're male or female. So I've been doing that for a little while, and I managed to lose a little bit of weight doing that. And consequently, when I went to have my annual bloods done, my doctor had commented that obviously it was good that I'd brought my weight down a little bit, and had asked me whether I would be interested in trying a diet program, which is like a pathway to putting your diabetes into remission. And you do that by going on basically a total diet replacement program. So after a week or two of thinking about this, because it isn't something I've entered into lightly, because it is very medically controlled. It is quite a severe thing to do. And I wouldn't recommend that anybody does this without proper medical supervision. I'm not a doctor or any sort of medical expert. I'm doing this, and I'm referring to it as a challenge because I do like to set myself challenges. And for the past 4 years, my challenge has been to get my health either back to how I was in 2019 before I had my first hand operation, or better, because like I said, I was already overweight before, and obviously I think I've spent most of my adult life trying to lose weight one way or another. So like I said, this isn't something I've entered into lightly. I know any diet plan is hard to maintain and do, but this is being medically supervised, and so far it's been really sort of not full on, but I felt looked after from the moment it started. So when I was having my blood checks done, like I said, the NHS, the practice nurse had a conversation with me about whether I would want to enter into this. She explained briefly what the programme was all about, and told me to let her know. Anyway, I did eventually decide, yes I would. I spoke to obviously my family who I live with, and they were all supportive if I wanted to give it a go. So I contacted them and said yes, yeah, let's try it. So from that, the nurse then sort of refers you to sort of like a well-being and dietitian and diabetes practitioner who they contact you. It's a 12-month program, and you have sessions with the practitioner. I think you have 20 in total throughout the whole year, but initially it's week by week, which is at the stage that I'm at, because I'm literally just starting this program. So the practitioner contacts you. You have to upload your weights. So there is an app. What they again give you the link to that, so you can have that on your phone and you can monitor your progress, and you can do upload your weights and your blood sugars, which is obviously the important thing, because the whole idea of the program, even though I'm talking a lot about weight loss, it is to get my diabetes into remission. Now my diabetes levels aren't through the roof. The sort of middle of the range, I was told. Again, I'm not a medical practitioner, so I don't know these figures and things that they tell you and all the different measurements. Don't understand it. I'm not going to pretend I understand it. It is just a figure with a number, and as long as I can see that number coming down, I know that it's working. If it starts going up, something's going wrong in my mind. So I'm going to leave all that to them, and they do actually tell you to let them do the worrying about whether anything's not right. They'll contact you and obviously give you medical advice if it's not working, if something's going wrong, or if your blood sugars are going too high. If you suffer with high blood pressure as well, I think they monitor that, but I don't have that issue. So I suppose if you're diabetic and you've got high blood pressure, they're going to want to know your blood pressure readings, your blood glucose levels, can't even say that, and your weight. So that's the information you give them once a week, and they'll, like I say, monitor you if there's something not quite right. So you do that like every week, and you're doing the program. Initially it's for 12 weeks, so the intense part of it is to kickstart it, and it's 12 weeks. Before you start the program, I'll go back a little bit, because before you start the program, it's run with the NHS, and it's all funded by the NHS, but it's with a company called, the one I'm doing is called Ultralife. I believe there are others which I don't know anything about, but I'm using a product called Ultralife. Now, they send you a sample pack out first to make sure, because again, in the decision making of whether you want to do this, they send you a sample pack so you can taste. There are shakes which are made up with water, and soups, again, which are just made up with water. It's just like a powder which you mix with water. And they send you the different, there's only like 4 flavours of shakes. So if I remember rightly, off the top of my head, it's vanilla, banana, chocolate and strawberry. And then there are 2 soups, which is chicken, and then there's also a vegetable soup. So they send you the pack out first so you can test the products, just to taste them, to see whether you like the flavours. It's not to start doing the programme, it is to just taste them, because obviously no point in you saying, yeah, I'll do this, and then send you a load of products and you think, oh, this tastes disgusting. So they let you try it first, try before you buy, I suppose. So I tried them. I didn't mind all the flavours. Strawberry one is really nice. I find the vanilla one really nice. I found the chocolatey one a little bit processed flavoured, and the banana one a little bit processed flavoured, but they're not horrible. It's not that I can't drink them, they're just, I mean, you know, you have chocolate's chocolate, isn't it? You can't emulate a chocolate flavour. So it is a strange chocolate. It's like when you buy like a processed chocolate milk type. It's got a weird chemical taste about it, but it's bearable. It's not horrible. So there's those flavours. The soups, however, I was a little bit dubious of the soups, because you make them with boiling water, and they didn't quite go. They were all a bit lumpy, the ones that I sampled. But again, the flavours weren't awful. I thought they both tasted the same, even though one was chicken, one was vegetable. They both actually tasted the same. But they, they're all right. So once you've decided on whether you like them, they give you a call and they ask you, did you like the flavours? And then if you do and you still want to continue on the programme, they then take you to the next stage, which is to order all your stuff. So they send you they come in like these massive, great big tubs with a scoop, a shaker. You also are sent fibre as well, because if it's just you having liquid and the powder, it can affect your stomach. So they send fibre so that you can add that to your shakes as well to stop any issues with your stomach. And then also they send you like you can order a medical pack, which is for measuring your diabetes, and some scales for your weight, and all the bits you need for measuring your diabetes. And I'm sure if I had blood pressure issues, they probably would send you a blood pressure thing to measure your blood pressure, but like I said, I don't have that issue, so I've got literally scales and the things I need to measure my blood glucose. Oh, I can't say that. Blood glucose levels. Still don't think I nailed that, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Your sugar levels. So I've sent all that stuff. So you've got everything when you start. Then before you start, you have an assessment all around your mental well-being, and again, I suppose it's to make sure that you're going to stick with it, whether you've thought about if you've got any special occasions coming up, or if you're going on holiday or things like that. Then I suppose it's how you're going to deal with that. How have you thought about these sort of things? So that was all fine. I've had that assessment. And then you have a session. So every week for the first few weeks, you have a session which is on like a Teams meeting, Microsoft Teams, where you have like a coach who, again, offers you advice, gives you information, supports you basically. And you're with a group of people who are all going through the same thing. So once you've got to that, and then you've reached your start date, on your actual start date, somebody again phones you, because if you're already on medication, as I am, they alter your medication so that you don't end up taking too much of something. And like I say, it's all closely monitored. That has to come through from your GP before you can even get this far on the programme. Your GP assesses what medication you're on and what you need to alter, and so on and so forth. So I've done all that with the doctors, and they've sent things off to the company so they know what medication I'm on as well. And then they ring you on the day to make sure that you're all right, and that you've remembered to alter your medication, and that you're happy to continue, and so on with it. So I'm at that stage. I've done that, and I'm a few days in already. I'm not going to go too much into that on this blog, because I have already done. I've already recorded some blogs as I've been doing it. So, but it did occur to me. Like I say, I'm not an expert YouTuber, as you can tell. So I had actually already started to record how I was feeling on the day of starting it and all that kind of thing. And then I thought to myself, I haven't actually told anybody what I'm doing. So I'm now backtracking a little bit, which is what the purpose of this is. So for the next 12 months, under strict medical supervision, I am going to be on a total diet replacement programme to help. Well, it's actually that I'm not on. Rewind that a little bit, because for the next 12 months I'm actually on a pathway to put my diabetes into remission. That's what I'm doing for 12 months. The first 12 weeks I'm on a total diet replacement program, which literally just involves having the soups and the shakes. So to explain a little bit more about that, you have like I just already said, there's shakes and there's soups. 4 different flavours shakes, 2 different flavours for the soups. You've got to have 4 in a day. So it's either 4 shakes, 4 soups, a mixture of shakes and soups, whichever one, but you've got to have 4 in a day, and you've got to have all 4. I mean, I've got to the evening, and like I said, because I have already started it, but I don't want to give too much away, but I have got to the evenings and sort of thought I don't actually feel hungry, so you do kind of have to have them, even if you think you don't really need it. You do have to have the 4. And then after 12 weeks, you go down to having 3 a day, and then an evening meal. And then after a couple of weeks, I think you then go to 2 a day. And obviously you start introducing solid food back into your diet. And then until eventually you sort of weaned off the shakes and you're back to eating solid food. You can't just switch from one to another. I did watch a YouTube clip of somebody who'd done this themselves before I made the decision of whether I wanted to do it. And he had he'd gone away for a weekend and he'd forgotten to take his stuff with him, or he'd put it in a bag and forgot to pick the bag up, and he ended up having sandwiches and salads and things which he thought he would be all right having, but it really upset his stomach, and he got really bad heartburn. And so yeah, it sounds like if you switch from having liquid diet to then having food, obviously it's not going to agree with you, and you're going to end up feeling quite yucky by the sounds of what the man on the YouTube clip that I watched said. So you are kind of weaned off it. So you have 4 shakes or 4 soups, or a mixture. You know, you can have a soup for breakfast. Sorry, you wouldn't have soup for your breakfast. I suppose you could if you wanted to, but you could have maybe a shake for breakfast, shake for lunch, a soup for your evening meal, and then a shake at bedtime, maybe as a supper. But so you would, that's how you would do it. They have said, because they send you also a handbook, again it's all online, but they send a handbook which tells you that you can season your food, your soups and your shakes. You can add sugar-free syrups to flavour like your milkshakes. Sorry, not milkshakes, because they're not made with milk, they're made with water. But you can add these sugar-free syrups to flavour them. So I suppose you could add a little bit of a mint syrup, perhaps to a chocolate one, and make it like mint chocolate. I don't know. I haven't actually done that, so I'm not sure. I have added seasonings to soups, just to give a bit of variety. Sorry, I'm all over the place. But yeah. So like I say, I have already started it, but I won't say anything here about what's what until because obviously then the videos won't be in sequence. So so I just wanted to let you know that I'm doing this for 12 months, and my next vlog will show you how I'm getting on day 1. So thank you for listening to me. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button if you're liking the vlogs. Also, I believe there's a notification bell, so if you press on the bell symbol on the YouTube page, it will obviously trigger notifications, so it'll let you know when I've uploaded the next video. I think initially I'll probably do the vlogs 1 per week, so that you can see how I'm getting on, how my blood sugar levels are whether they're coming down or not, how my weight's doing, whether that's coming down or not, whether I'm still doing it, which at this stage hopefully I am still doing it. But this is what I'm planning on recording. So if you are interested and you want to see how the progress, or maybe you're even thinking of doing something similar yourself, hopefully I can be of help to you. And by all means, leave some comments on the bottom. And like I say, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you on the next vlog. Bye.